What's good, y'all? Good morning. I'm just kind of rolling out of bed. And I'm sure a lot of you guys, a lot of you boxing fans, a lot of sports fans, I'm sure are getting this news. I'm sure ESPN's talking about it. Canelo Alvarez files lawsuit against Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya, and DAZN over a breach of contract. Now, it looks like Canelo's suing on 10 counts, including the breach of contract and intentional interference. So, there's a lot of fancy language going on, just a lot of legal talk. But from what I have kind of gathered from this, and you could see here from this lengthy article from Dan Rafael, former ESPN boxing journalist, who is now working for Boxing Scene because ESPN can't afford to pay dude, or something along those lines. Boxing is in a weird place right now where everybody's fighting over money. Either people don't have money or people are now fighting over money. And Canelo is trying to get what he deserves, I guess. He signed a contract with DAZN. It was a record contract. It was $365 million back in October of 2018. And, for me, that was immediately a red flag. DAZN coming out of nowhere onto the broadcasting scene in America. Eddie Hearn, coming with all this money. Supposedly he had $1 billion, and with money to invest in, and DAZN was able to secure Canelo on their platform. He was supposed to have, I believe it was an 11-fight deal. There's a 5-year, 11-fight deal. He's supposed to fight 2 times a year, meaning he would get roughly, I believe, $35 million per fight. So yeah, who did he fight? He fought so far. I think he's only been in like 3 fights on DAZN. So he's fought Rocky Fielding, who at the time I'd never heard of. So Canelo didn't. He only got $15 million for that one. Still a shitload of money for a guy I've never heard of. Then he went and fought Daniel Jacobs, who I think is a good fighter for DAZN. I think he's a good fighter. I was disappointed with his performance in that fight. But I was excited for that one to a certain extent. I thought he's a big 160-pound guy who can hit, and I thought maybe Canelo would take a few more hits than what he did, but he really showed off his defensive skills in that fight. Just showed you that there was really no competition there either. And then he fought Kovalev, Sergey Kovalev, at I think 175, and he got a light heavyweight title for that. Yeah, I really didn't care about that fight either. Kind of felt something was fishy about that fight. I would rather Canelo fight some dudes at 168 than go to 175. So, it just seems as if he's picking these opponents so that he just fulfills the contract that he believes he has with DAZN. So the way it works is Canelo has a contract with Golden Boy, and Golden Boy, I believe, has a contract with DAZN. So the idea is that DAZN pays Golden Boy $40 million, right? And then Golden Boy gives Canelo 35, meaning Golden Boy gets roughly $5 million in doing business with the two of them. So I guess somewhere in the agreement between Golden Boy and DAZN, the confusion comes from DAZN thinking that they would have a Triple G trilogy. There would be a Canelo Triple G3, and that's just that would be considered a top tier fight that they would have no problem paying $35 million for, and or more money. Canelo supposedly wanted an excess of $25 million extra to fight Triple G again. So, yeah, man. Canelo's on his Floyd Mayweather type of journey at this point. He really is just kind of carefully selecting his opponents and trying to get paid as much money as possible for it. And let me tell you this: Canelo is not worth $35 million. He's not worth the money. Not if he's not fighting nobody. As a top level talent, as a world class talent, I think Canelo is worth the money in that sense. But when he's fighting Rocky Fielding and trying to fight Billy Joe Saunders and this other guy, Callum Smith or Smith Callum, uh, nobody cares. And DAZN's numbers are DAZN. The marketing team at DAZN is seeing that. Nobody cares. Nobody's watching Canelo. I saw that the numbers on PBC on Showtime for it was like a Thomas Delorme card, right? And you're like, who's Thomas Delorme? There, that reached a million. A million people saw that fight on free TV, and I thought to myself, man, that's really disappointing because that I'm sure that fight would have stunk up the arena if there were people there, but I don't know how that fight garnered a million viewers, but whatever. Canelo's getting only around 500,000 to 600,000 for fighting Kovalev or fighting whoever the hell he thinks I think he's thinking he's a bigger star than what he is. And I think a lot of people like to say that Canelo is the biggest superstar in boxing. Um, and you can say, a lot of people know who he is because he has red hair, but I don't think people don't watch his fights. People know who he is because he has red hair and he has an interesting name, but people don't watch his fights. And because he fought Floyd, people know that. People know he fought Floyd, but people don't watch his fights. So, and I mean, let me tell you, I had a hard time watching the Sergey Kovalev fight. That shit was so boring. Like, I mean, I already knew what was going to happen. It just was weird the way Oscar De La Hoya was so damn excited for it. And it just seemed weird. So yeah, the issue is that DAZN doesn't want to pay for the opponents that Canelo is offering, and so what they did was they offered Canelo a package that was less than half of the $35 million, and I believe some sort of some sort of number of shares of the company, but that still would not be equivalent to the 35 that Canelo is asking for, and I'm sure it's not sufficient enough even still for him to be happy with the deal. But man, we are boxing fans in a pandemic right now, and DAZN, if DAZN is not able to settle this in court with Golden Boy or Canelo or whoever, I'd imagine that Canelo will take his services and take his stardom elsewhere, at least for another, at least for one fight or something, or however much. But they are being sued for $280 million, which would be the remainder of the $365 million that they owe Golden Boy, or Canelo. So, man, I mean that's a lot of money at one time. It's a lot of money at one time, and I doubt that DAZN has that money to just pay Canelo to, take his services elsewhere. That's a lot of money. So I really, I hope and I imagine that they're gonna figure something out in court. But if not, I'm sure you'll be seeing Canelo fight on Showtime. Maybe he's already fought on Showtime before with Floyd, and if Al Heyman and the guys at PBC or whoever Showtime can get the money together to get Canelo to fight, then he's game. Apparently, he doesn't care where he fights. He doesn't care who he fights. No matter what he says, I think Canelo is saying that he's the number one pound for pound fighter in the world, and that he just wants to give the fans the show that they're asking for. Yeah, nobody's asking you to fight Yildirim. Nobody cares to see you fight Yildirim or Callum Smith or I mean, the Billy Joe fight would be relatively interesting, but even still, what do I care? Like, I don't care to see Billy Joe Canelo. A dream fight for me would be Billy Joe, or would be Canelo Alvarez and David Benavidez. I don't think David Benavidez deserves that fight anymore. He really screwed himself over by losing that title, but that was the fight I wanted to see. So I mean, yeah, man, not looking good for DAZN and or Golden Boy. I mean, Canelo looks like he's suing both of them. So um, yeah, let's hope that they get that figured out and we get to see Canelo in 2020. But I really doubt it. I really doubt that we're going to see him fight this year. Even though he is in the gym, he's working hard. He's training, and he wants a fight. He wants money. He wants his bag. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Canelo suing DAZN, Golden Boy, and evidently Oscar De La Hoya. I don't know if that's a independent of Golden Boy, but yeah, Canelo's pissed. So like the video, guys. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Subscribe, and we out. Peace.